Alright, what is up everyone? Got another fun team to showcase here today, this time featuring Alolan Grimer. This is one of my favorite Pokemon to run, a spice pick for Great League that I've been using for many seasons now. And I've hit Legend with it several times. I've gotten to 3700s with it, number 2 on the leaderboard. The highest elo I've ever got was with Alolan Grimer Medi Deoxys team, actually, several seasons ago. And so I love running Alolan Grimer Medicham core. And this time I'm trying it out with a Shadow Steelix as the safe swap. And so this is an interesting team. It's ABA weak to ground steel types. You can see the notes on the left, just a couple of little things to keep in mind about the team and how to play it. What's great about this team, though, is that Shadow Steelix can power through most of these ground types, like a Gligar or a Diggersby, things that you need to keep away from your Alolan Grimer, but is probably their only answer to a Shadow Steelix as well. And so you can safe swap Steelix and start Dragon Tailing and Breaking Swiping and Shielding and just power your way through those matchups to get a better alignment for your Grimer in the end game. So in this matchup, at this point, this Lickitung is very debuffed, and I can just Poison Jab it all the way down. I can take 2 more Body Slams, so I don't have to shield anything. I don't have any shields left, but I can just keep Poison Jabbing down and save my energy for this Gligar that's in the back. I can get off 2 crunches, get both shields, and then they're going to have to throw a move at me before I get to the next crunch to knock them out. And so because they had to throw energy, I'm now able to bring Medi in and get off this Psychic to knock out the Gligar. And then the Licky has a move banked, but I'm going to catch it on the Steelix and then Dragon Tail it down. And so GG to my opponent. I believe this was someone I'm friends with in the game as well, so always fun to play against somebody you know. So in this next battle here, we got Medi versus Deoxys. So Deoxys is not really what you want to see against a Medi, right? And a lot of times Deoxys leads have things in the back that are weak to counter, an ABB team that's weak to counter in the back. And so I want to preserve my Medi for those Pokemon. If I can flip the game around somehow and get Medi on one of the Pokemon that's weak to counter, then we'll be in much better shape. But I swap in my Grimer and they have a Diggersby, and it's actually a Diggersby running Quick Attack. And so I realized at this point, I think this is my team that I showcased the other day, that I put out a YouTube video about, Deoxys, Diggersby, Shadow Steelix. So I'm guessing that's what they have in the back, which means I want to try to get as much damage on that Deoxys as I can for the Medicham match later. And I'm trying to figure out how to play this. Should I go for the Earthquake? I decided to throw a Breaking Swipe and get the debuff off and then go for the Earthquake. And then maybe I can either get a shield or knock this thing out. If they shield it, then I'm able to get a farm down with Medi, and that might put me in a better spot, but they actually just let it go, which means they have 2 shields left on their Deoxys. And so this is going to be tough. I'm going to try to pup my way through this. I throw the first one, believe I get a shield, and I throw the second one right away just to try to get off as much counter damage as I can before I get knocked out. So they throw a Thunderbolt, and now it's just kind of a race here to see who can get to their move. They get to the Psycho Boost to knock me out, so they're debuffed, and I'm able to get in 2 Dragon Tails at the same time as they get in their 3 counters, and so we actually get a tie, which is pretty fun to tie against someone who was using the team that I had put out on a video the other day. So GG to that trainer. This next battle, Lantern lead, they swap to Gligar, a ground type. So again, it's a ground type that Steelix can power through, though. I get some crunch damage off, and then I swap, shield the dig, and farm it down the rest of the way. And so Lantern comes back in, but I'm resisting the sparks, and I'm able to debuff it, I think, 2 times before it gets to a Surf. So yeah, I get 2 Breaking Swipes off here, and now the Surf's going to do less than 50%. And so I don't need to worry about this Surf damage. I can just keep kind of farming this thing down and throwing Breaking Swipes. Oh, but I actually go for a catch here, so I'm catching a double debuffed Surf on my Grimer and banking that energy on Steelix. So I get a crunch off here, And I believe they shield it so they can preserve that surf that they had banked on Lantern, and they bring in their Tropius, hoping to take this Grimer out quickly and just get rid of it, but it's worth a shield because I can get off some good crunch damage or pull their last shield and still get off some solid poison jab damage as well. And so now I can debuff this thing. They're waiting until they can throw back-to-back moves, but I can live one and then swap to Medi to catch the second one. And at that point, it's GG. One Surf is not going to KO my Medi. Their Lantern's too low to get to two moves. They had no way to win that one at that point. So, yeah, GG. Fun battle. Next battle here, we got Grimer against a Crest. This is good because we're resisting the Psycho Cuts and the Grass Knots. Moonblast is non-stab neutral, so it's a good matchup for Grimer. But yeah, they swapped in a Alolan Sandslash, so we can come in and just counter that thing all the way down. I paused for a little bit at the end to let them do a few more Shadow Claws just to get me a lower HP so they can get less farm. They still get a lot of farm off my Medi here, but so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in Steelix, just expecting they're going to blind throw a Moonblast. So I'm going to catch the resisted Moonblast, do two Dragon Tails, and then swap to catch a resisted Grass Knot on my Grimer. So just those plays worked out really well to keep my HP on both my Grimer and my Steelix, as well as being able to bank up a little bit of energy on each. So at this point, I'm just going to save my two shields for Steelix. If they foul play me here, I live and get off another Sludge Bomb. So saving shields for Steelix is the way to go just to close this one out, because I can debuff them here, won't need to shield any foul plays, and I believe I shield one Grass Knot, farm the thing down, and then I've got a ton of energy on my Steelix at that point, and so I can just EQ the Umbreon, and that's game over. So game worked out really nicely, just having a Medi in the back for the Alolan Sandslash. GG to my opponent. So let's see what we got in the next battle. Granny Singapore. Okay, we're playing Granny Singapore here, and it's a Lantern lead, and it's a Water Gun Lantern. So we actually don't want our Steelix against a Water Gun Lantern. So I'm going to throw a Crunch, get a shield. We get a debuff as well, and then I'm going to bring my Steelix in here just to avoid having it stuck against a Water Gun Lantern later in the game. So I got to shield one of these weather balls. After the next breaking swipe, I believe I can live a weather ball and can farm the thing all the way down. So I no shield this one, and I barely live it though. So I got to throw the breaking swipe here, and they actually let it go. Oh yeah, they were out of shields. So I'm able to keep my Alolan Grimer on the Lantern. Shield once, and then they bring in a Alolan Ninetales. So this is actually really ideal for us. We can do one Sludge Bomb, a couple Poison Jabs, and then this Lantern is in range where counter damage plus psychic damage is going to knock it out. So GG to Granny Singapore. Great games in this set. Really enjoyed using this team, and it's an interesting team. You know, it's got its ABA weakness to ground and steel types, but the core breaker potential of Alolan Grimer plus the sheer power of Shadow Steelix to be able to just push through bad matchups and get you the alignment that you need makes this just a really strong team. So I hope y'all enjoyed it. Alolan Grimer, my son, my boy, love using this thing. It pairs really well with Medi, and then Shadow Steelix I think is probably like the best safe swap in the meta right now. So let me know what y'all think in the comments. Enjoy, be blessed.